Morning, YouTube. It's a very cloudy day today. It's been raining. It's probably going to start raining here in a bit, so I need to make this fast. I kind of wanted to talk about today kind of something really out there. So I want to preface it by explaining a little bit about how I really what motivated me to go down all these rabbit holes, because some of the things that I've been discovering are just so out there that they're so unbelievable. But I mean, there's evidence for them, tangible evidence, and there's like lots of whistleblowers that, you know, that's really who you need to pay attention to, is whistleblowers. Listen to what they're saying. There's some of the stuff they say is pretty out there too, but you really should pay attention to it. So I've said this a million times, but Pizzagate, I mean, if you just look at it on the surface, it looks like a conspiracy theory. Well, let's think about where that term conspiracy theory or conspiracist came from. The CIA coined that term. Why? They coined it specifically so that they could use it, they could label whistleblowers and discredit them. And that's what they do. So that's what a conspiracy theorist is. It's basically a whistleblower who's basically telling the truth. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying there's not hoaxes out there. There sure are. But there's also truth. And you just have to see where it leads you. And where it leads you might be pretty out of this world. So that brings me to what I want to talk about today is Tony Rodrigues. He is a whistleblower who claims to have participated in the Special Space Program's 20 and Back program. And I mean, this might sound really incredible, but I mean, the CIA and the government in general, and other organizations that are like shadow government organizations, and there's even organizations that are even more hidden than the shadow government. I keep saying, there's a hierarchy. We really don't know how far up it goes or how widespread it is. We have no clue. So to even suggest that these things that these whistleblowers are saying are not possible, I mean, that's just pure naivety on whoever's saying that, on the part of whoever's saying that. That's very naive to think that the way that the world is being presented to you is the way it really is. When the media are just bold-faced liars. You cannot believe anything they say. I mean, 9 times out of 10, whatever they say is an absolute lie, and the opposite is actually the truth. So, I mean, you start there. But if you dig a little bit into WikiLeaks, you're going to find so much truth that's going to lead you to other places. And that's what happened to me. Through WikiLeaks, I stumbled upon all this stuff about Pizzagate and satanic ritual abuse and mind control, MK Ultra trauma-based mind control. So you start to see how this all works, this all fits together. It's not like these are all separate outrageous claims that are not, there's not even a connection. They're all connected. And that's another reason why it's, it gives more credence to the claim. And on the other side, on the more, visual side, you have Hollywood completely, imploding and coming all out with their satanic occult stuff. And I mean, just pay attention. Just pay attention. So anyways, back to Tony Rodrigues. He claims to have participated in the 20 and Back program. I'll include links in the description. I first saw and learned about him through, I think the YouTube channel is called Exopolitics, and it's Dr. Michael Sala. And he interviewed Tony Rodrigues, and it was like a 6-part interview, like 30 to 45 minutes each episode. So I mean, it's a long interview, but he gives basically his whole story. And I think that was his first interview when he first decided to go public. And he's not really going public. He's not like disclosing names or anything, because if you watch his interviews, you'll understand why. There's a reason for that. And but his story is amazing, and it really highlights a lot of the stuff that's going on that we do not even perceive And it's just sad to think that people that are talking about it are just automatically labeled as nuts. And, you know, I mean, the brainwashing works. The brainwashing works. Hollywood and the media in general has everybody so addicted to whatever, to their message and to their reality, that when someone breaks free from that, you know, and I want to use the example again of me, how I was in my Democratic bubble, in my little liberal Democratic bubble, and I was just completely buying everything, and it was an echo chamber, and I was just listening to what I already assumed was true, so I wasn't investigating anything. The only thing that will push somebody to like even dig into any of this is having questions, and then not getting, even if you get answers, like you have to really analyze the answer, and you have to ask yourself, are you really satisfied with that answer? So again, I mean, you have to step out of your bubble. That's the only way you're going to see anything, anything so that you can form an objective opinion. So basically, Tony Rodrigues talks about how he was abducted by Grays at the age of 9 and put through this with his consent. Now, mind you, he was only 9, so I mean, obviously the laws of the galaxy and the universe beyond our planet are different. So his consent was given to have his consciousness basically pulled out of his body and placed in a clone, where he went on to work for the government, you know, this, I don't know what department, but I mean, it's the special space program, for 20 years, basically a slave for 20 years. And then he was, time regressed, age regressed, I don't know. He explains the process, and actually, I can go into detail about what my thoughts on it, but they're similar to what he says in the interview. And that's the only thing that really makes sense, is that the human body, the flesh vehicle that we have, is basically just that. It's just a vehicle for our consciousness. Our consciousness goes on. I mean, it doesn't. It just keeps existing. So and memories are attached to the physical body. So that's why in the next life we're not going to remember what happened in the past life, and who knows how many times that's happened. But anyways, I just find his interview very fascinating, and it just corroborates a lot of stuff that other people are saying, other whistleblowers, and also I hope I get this guy's name right. I should have looked it up before I did this video, but Robert Lanza, I think that's his name. And he has a theory of biocentrism, which is basically that we create our own reality, and how death is just an illusion, and the consciousness goes on. And there's so many sources I can list. I guess I'll just start saying them right here, and I'll just include them in the description. And I just invite anybody to just look through the sources and tell me what you think, because we are not being told the truth about a lot of stuff. So Wes Penray, I've mentioned him before, but he has a lot of information about how the universe really is, and the laws of the universe, and what's really going on, you know, pertaining to like life after death. And it's very interesting stuff. It's a lot of information. I mean, it's like 5 different levels of, you know, I don't know, hundreds of gigabytes probably of data. It's a lot to absorb, so I'm slowly going through that. But there's also other stuff, and I mean, you have to. Nikola Tesla said that the day that scientists look beyond the, you know, the physical, look into the non-physical, so supernatural stuff, things that we can't exactly explain, the day that happens is the day that science will, you know, progress like decades in a single day. Because that is what is being, that's the big lie that we're being told, is that everything, reality is the way that they tell us that it is, even though it's not. So there's lots of evidence to suggest that there's a lot of stuff going on that we are not aware of. And all you have to do is look into Pizzagate to see that, and see where that takes you. And there's just a lot of information out there. So I'll put links in the description. I hope this video wasn't like too, I don't know, crazy. I'm just trying to put things out there that I am learning, and I am seeing, and I am discovering. So I'll put the links to Tony Rodrigues' Michael Sala interview, and then I saw another one recently, which was like just from this month, from August 2018. And his story does not change. He might add some new information to it as he's just started getting these memories back in 2015. So he might add some new information that will only enhance the story, you know, as far as make sense. So I invite anybody to watch those interviews. Tell me what you think. There's other whistleblowers that I've talked about in other videos and that I write about on my blog, like Corey Good. Oh shoot, it's raining. I've got to go. So thanks to all my subscribers for watching, and please like and share. Bye.